Hey guys, this is a flash stream, which means look at me. Hey guys, this is a flash stream. Oh no, echo. Hey guys. Okay. I may have to mute my mic. Right, so I'm just... I'm still getting an echo. Are you getting an echo? Oh, it's because I had the volume on my stream turned on. There, let's do that. Mute myself on stream. You guys couldn't hear it, but I could hear it, and it was driving me slowly mad. Yeah, so I am going to be doing icons for like a long time today, so I figured, oh, why not stream it? So that's what I'm doing. So we'll see what's up. I probably won't be answering tons of questions because I'm just trying to like work. But if you want to see me like push pixels for a couple of hours, welcome. All right, let me see if I can like turn the music back on and not have it be a disaster. How's that? All 18 of you. Oh. Hi, Joey. Joey is one of the 20. Oh, wow. Moving up. Taking over the world, one viewer at a time. Yes, I'm streaming. I'm streaming me pushing pixels. No. No. Yeah. Actually, the mic's on. Here, let's try this the other way around. There. No, the webcam is not even plugged in. No, I'm not sure. After that first conversation, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. People want to see the pixels pushed. At least 24 people are in. Yeah. Of course. Right. What's that? What's a siren? Oh, a siren for when stream goes live.
Actually, we'll put it right in front of Chris. He'll go round and round.
Yeah. For you guys who can maybe only hear one side of the conversation, we've talked for a while about, it's kind of a joke, but it's getting more serious every time we talk about it, so it might actually happen, of getting like a big red siren that goes on whenever I start streaming. So people are aware that, hey, the stream's going on, like for us internally. So we need like a USB siren that would go on automatically whenever like I start broadcasting. So if anyone can hook us up with something like that, post a link in chat. Yeah, the idea is that like not everyone is talking about stuff suitable for stream. We have to keep some secrets. Helter skelter. So your idea is the opposite of what we want, but I understand why you want it. Okay. So I have to make like a group of icons for the Stockpile UI, which you can see down at the bottom. Here, I'll just show it to you. Spoiler alert. Real fast. You have context for what I'm working on. So, the idea is that I can even blow it up. Let's blow it up. Oh, perfect. Right, so the idea is that you'll be able to manage your stockpiles to choose what goes where. And all these things are toggle buttons. So you can toggle on, yes, I want to store resources and whatever, weapons and armor in this stockpile. So I need to make this matrix of icons. I'll show you my spreadsheet that I'm working on. So here's the spreadsheet, taxonomy of everything. Can I do this? Firefox. Oh yeah, there we go. Plus. So this is the taxonomy I'm working on now. So these are the categories. And every one of these little things needs an icon. So, icon Palooza. That's what we're doing. Starting from the top and working our way all the way across the list. And the reason why I have two windows open, this is Photoshop by the way, got initiated, is so that I can like work in a one here and see what it looks like, sort of one-to-one what it would look like in this window. So that's what we're doing. I am so dedicated to getting work done, so sorry guys, I can be on the answering questions. But try to talk out loud every now and then, let you know what my process is. Oh, and along those lines, like one thing that is sort of new is from like the aesthetic we're going for, which I'm kind of digging. I tried it on a lark and it's kind of working out, is for small elements, like these icons, I mean like super hard edged alias pixel art. Nobody can hear me. Oh man. I'll get this right. Down the volume on the music. How about that? How we doing? You guys hear me now? Better? Better or good? We won't stop until we get to good. Better than bad would still be good. It'd still be lower, but it's fine. Alright, fine is good because I'm not going to be good at that. Yeah, so like, I feel like I just did this, but do it again. I need colors. So I'm going from my... So we have these vector versions for like big icons because we want, you know, smooth, we don't want jaggies all over the place. But I find that like for really small icons, the jaggies actually look pretty good. Like you can see, like compare like this wooden cube to the stone cube right next to it. I just like the look. So, and that's fun because I didn't think I'd get to do a whole lot of pixel art for this game because it's, you know, 3D and vectory, and but it turns out I am. So everyone wins. I guess I win. But you guys can be happy for me. It does mean that I'm clicking the mouse a lot more these days. I'm not supposed to leak stuff, but I'll leak one thing, which is that regarding Steam support, Albert has been working very hard on Steam support to get it sooner rather than later. So, if you are a Steam user, rejoice. The game will definitely be on Steam, and it may be on Steam sooner than you think. grid lines really annoy me in Photoshop, and they have a habit of coming back. You can turn them off, which is like, oh, now I can actually see what I'm doing. But then if you like use like the marquee tool, they come back. It's like, what? And I guess you're trying to be helpful, Photoshop, but you're failing. I really don't want, really don't want those grid lines. Talk about first world problems, though. Okay. Oh yeah, so like, I need to like add these shaded lines back. So a super easy way to do it is to take like a dark brush like black. I just picked black, and then like use like a transparency that works for you, like 30%. Just hit the, like the 3 key to get 30% transparent, and then like I like that, and then go back to 100% transparent, pick that color, and you're off to the races. Once you have a basic palette on the screen, if you're clever with transparent brushes, you can actually not have to go to the color picker very much at all. This one's good. Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna be a little smarter about how I fill this. Okay, and we can use the same trick up here. You can grab this color. It's like 40% transparent. Go to town. Oops. That's actually totally the wrong color because it's too close to the other one on this top face, but that's okay. Because we can change it. Good. Actually, it's not bad. I'm gonna keep it. So there's the wood grain. Alright, one down. Let's keep score. Actually, I'm gonna... wand. Why can't I wand? Oh, because I accidentally put this thing in a group. I'm constantly adding groups because the group hotkey is very easy to hit. It's kind of annoying. Alright. I want like more shading down at the bottom. Kind of plant that thing. Alright, we're gonna keep score. I don't like this. So I think these lines on the top are too dark. So I'll just like take that color and with a semi-transparent fill bucket, right? Just right until they're the right shade. That's too subtle, but like, right. So really, we're like really doing subtle changes here, but that's okay because it makes a difference. And we're keeping this stuff super alias because they are like a small size, and I want them to be sharp. I don't want them blurry. Join the early access. What? Oh. Hi, Steve. Yeah, it looks better, right? Crazy. Alright, we're gonna keep score. Because keeping score is motivating. Wood is done. So we're gonna fill it with green. Yeah, baby. Alright, one down. Lots to go. Alright. Oh wait, it's not finished. Because we need to embiggen the outline. That's the technical term. Okay. That's just like sloppy. It's not sloppy, it's like not smart. Let's be smart about this. Whoops. That my outline isn't totally the same color, but that's okay. Alright. Hey, wasn't that smarter? Actually, I'm not sure it was smarter at all. This is probably fast. Okay. Alright, now one down. And some more to go. Okay. So I have this handy grid that'll help me. And I'm not sure if that grid should always be on. Like, I'm really not sure. But for now, it's going to help me line up all my icons and make sure they're all the right size. And they fit within the button bounds. Dude, I can't hear my music. It's making me sad. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to up it just a little bit. Screw you guys up too much. Alright. Thank you. Okay. Not sure if I like the stick outlines. Let's just go with it. See where they take us. Actually, I am sure I don't like them. Well, hold on. The grid lines are messing me up. This is that grid. That grid is way too heavyweight. So, how do I turn it off? There's that. Yeah, okay, it's fine. This rock is going to be tough, because it needs to be like... I'm just going to mess around with it. I don't like how this one's like just a straight up cube. So it needs to be cube-ish. Well, square, of course, but not like... so basic. Because it's like stone, right? So, 50% transparency. See, you guys know how it works now. It's stone, so it needs to have that sort of chunky, crystalline kind of quality to it, but like, yeah, whatever. So let's see what we can do here. We can take like a chip out of it. We're just gonna play around. So the light's coming from here, so using that. My light is coming from kind of the top and right, so that means do that top and the right, which means down here. Yeah, I like. See, it's interesting. Like if you look up here, in this window, looks pretty good. Down here, you can barely see the details, which is why I have both windows open at once. So they need to all be like way bigger, maybe a little more contrasty. This like dark like line here was a fail, so just undo it. I like this big crack here. That's stone-ish, right? I really want to go nuts with this thing, though. I feel like this could be a success story of this icon. Back up here. And I did that by varying transparency at every sort of, just going like 50%, 40%, 30%, 20%, 10% transparent. Really easy way to make sort of pixely gradients like that. Once again, this is a stream of me just kind of working on what I got to work on today, so I'm not going to be like super attentive to chat. Sorry, guys. But I'm sure you'd rather actually play the game sooner rather than later, so. Yeah, that didn't work out. Alright. I'm willing to call that almost good. Let's up the contrast overall, just so those details come out, and make it a little brighter, Okay, and by the way, the contrast tool and this hue saturation tool are like probably the tools I use most when I'm doing interface art. They're both super useful. It's kind of scary how useful they are. Alright. I find rocks like that all the time on hikes. I should go on more hikes. Okay, great. So that looks like stone, but it's got some texture to it, but it's a cube. Great. Alright, so I am energized to do more. Okay, ore. So I had like an old ore concept that I want to borrow from. Oh yeah, you guys want to see like what it's like to work on something for a long time? Like, check this out. So this is like probably an 8-month-old version of the same UI that I'm working on. So the idea has been around for a while. Here, I'll make it like extra big. This is like going to be illuminating. Right, so here's like, what I'm about to show you is like 8 months of progress, both like sort of from a design perspective, but also from like, I guess, a personal maturation, right? Because it's the first time I've tried to do like interface art for a video game before. So like, in the red corner now, let me do this so that it's like, it makes freaking sense there. So 8 months ago, this is what we had. Right, and functionally these two things are identical, right? But you can see like, just aesthetically, we've changed a lot, right? We've gone from something which was like, fine, there's nothing wrong with this, but I don't know, this one just feels a lot better to me. I think the colors are better. I think the weight of some of the elements here is just off. Like the interface elements, the things you click on, like these buttons here, are the lightest, sort of least prominent things on the page, which is backwards. Like the things that are really prominent are like the name of the stockpile, this thing, which is backwards. you know, the information. Well, whatever. I don't want to go off on a huge tangent. But like, this is Stonehearth like 8 months ago, and this is Stonehearth now, right? So the more it's funny, the more I do this stuff, the better I get at it, which is encouraging and depressing at the same time. It's like, oh man, all that stuff 6 months ago is so bad. Which means that I'm constantly redoing things, like perpetually, while still making progress. So it's like 1 step forward, or 2 steps forward, 1 step back, which isn't horrible. It's just where we are. Okay, so this is the ore icon, which I did a while ago, which I'm actually kind of pleased with, but it's too small, which is okay. Where's the grid? Where's the grid? Right there. Okay, so let's make it bigger. And this is just going to be a mammoth cleanup job. Should be that big. That's good. Oh, that was a bad idea. That was a horrible idea. Alright, so here's how we fix that nastiness. Copy this, new document. How big do we want it to be? Okay, I don't need you anymore. Actually, I might need you. That's a pencil. How big do we want it to be? So, the problem is this. You make it this big, and Photoshop's like, oh, let me help you out there, and it really upscales the thing, it blurs the heck out of it. So we want to keep those sharp edges. So we know that this thing now should be that big, 36 wide, 34 high. So we'll take this one, and we'll resize it. Oops, nope. Okay, this window, right? And we want it to be 36 high. Now let's go 34 wide. Okay, and I'll change the way that it upscales, and I'll say preserve hard edges. And those are gonna, like, great, terrific. Everybody's happy. Right now, I can come back here, and there are my hard edges, right? So nuke that, paste, nope, paste, terrific. So that just saved me like probably 10 minutes of like sampling colors and now it's just like, let's go at the pixels. That's where this window is really going to come in handy. So I want to keep the sort of jaggy, crystalline nature of both like the rock and of course the crystals coming out, the ore crystals. So I don't want it to be too smooth. Okay, so now I have to figure out like what I was thinking when I was making these things. And I think this was a crystal that just sort of came up like this. That. Pretty simple. Yeah. Because I have more resolution. So here's where I'm really going to use these partially opaque brushes, like in spades. That's not right. This can go like that. So it's not right about that. Ah, my light is backwards. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking down here for confirmation constantly. Grab this one. That's fine for that one. Just, whoa, whoa. Outright. Oh, this is like a lot easier than I thought it would be. So it's bag of lines. This one should come in here. This one should come in here. Too long. In case you haven't noticed, sometimes they make sound effects when I'm drawing lines. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm counting so that like I get like a straight line here. Except no, I already decided it was already too far. So it should go like that, and then that, and then that. But I want it to be big. I want a big crystal. That's 2, 2, 2, 2. That, and then it's not exactly right, but it's right enough. Okay, I'm not sure what the heck is going on. This top part. I think it's the silhouette of yeah, it's the silhouette of a crystal on the backside. Just do that. No problem. Why, thank you. Okay, I'm just gonna reinvent what this thing was. I don't know what the heck I was. Well, you know, I didn't have a lot of pixels to work with, but we're just gonna decide. I'm gonna decide that I'm gonna help myself by using the line tool. That this crystal. Whoops, that's way too thick. We're just gonna say that this guy goes up this way. Which means it comes out here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now And I'll select again. Some people think it's cheating to use the line tool and stuff like that when you're doing pixel art. I say, whatever produces a better result. I guess like there are definitely pixel art purists who think the process is just as important as the result. And I guess it depends on what you're doing. If you're producing art for a video game, I imagine your priorities are slightly different than if you're sort of a hobbyist. Not a hobbyist, that's the wrong word. If you're doing the art for its own sake. Like I can imagine, like, you want to do pixel art like old school video game developers did pixel art. They didn't have like Photoshop CS6 or whatever version this is. So they had to do it like pixel by pixel. Almost like those Civil War reenactment guys, like, or the guys who like build like obelisks, like the way that the Egyptians built the obelisks. Do it. That makes sense, but that's not what I'm doing. So I'm using every tool at my disposal. Hey, that turned out okay. I'm a little bit surprised. I thought this was going to be a order. This one was going to be a lot harder. It's turning out okay. Alright, so here, like, it doesn't really matter. It's just like the texture of the rock. I just want to make sure I don't have this giant. Yeah, that's fine. No worries. We're doing okay. I mean, look at this. We got 3 icons. They're all consistent. They're sharp. At this rate, we might be done by the end of the day. So what we're doing is, just for those who came late, we're doing this stockpile configuration UI. And what this thing lets you do is it lets you determine what you want to store in a particular stockpile. So there's this like matrix of buttons, and all these are toggles, and you can toggle on a category, a whole category on or off by hitting like one of these things. So I've got my taxonomy up here, and every one of these needs an icon. And it's not even full, like it's probably more, but it's the starting point. So I'm making icons. Well, I hope that's not all we're doing today, but that's what we must do before we can actually make the... Okay, so animal parts. So the idea behind this animal part is that it's like pelt. Like pelts and horns and things like that. These are parts from animals that are raw materials. This is the first one that I don't have anything pre-existing for, so we're just going to grab like a pretty good brown. And this is my first impression. That's like not right because it's square. And we keep the same perspective as these other things. Let's do that. Let's start with that. So here's a quick way of getting like my perspective right. Really quick way of getting it right. Okay. But I don't want something square, I want something rectangular. That's too rectangular, it doesn't fit anymore. Okay. Right. Some thickness to it. Oh, we'll do that later. Okay, so here's the head. I don't like this either. I don't like this pelt concept. I'm gonna do something that's more iconic. Do like a raccoon tail. Just because that's sort of, yeah. That's tail is kind of square? Oh, well, it's not going to be square. This tail is not going to be square. It's going to be... well, you can see what it is. It's tail-shaped. Okay, and the idea here is that this is much more iconic. It gives you, I think, a better idea like what goes in here. Like you can imagine like the iconic classic coonskin hat, which is what this represents. It's like stuff that you get from animals and use to make other things. I'm not sure if that's the best idea either. That's okay, we're experimenting. Cow's udder. That's not right. Feather? Not a feather, because like this is like pelts and stuff. Here, we'll just mess with a bunch of concepts. Nothing's really working out, or there's no obvious answer to this one. Like, okay, so we can do this, this. Right, so we can finish off this pelt, right? It's got like a tail, it would have like a little tail. It would have probably a big head, because things in this game have big heads. That's just looking very strange. Right. Let's just work with it. That's so sad. I'm not doing that. The first pelt I did was better. Red North, I like that pelt, but it didn't fit with the vibe of the game because it looked like something that you see in Age of Empires. That is not at all a knock on Age of Empires. It's just their look is different from our look. So I'm gonna try this like tail again, but I'm gonna try doing it like in a slightly different way. That didn't work. It looks like a slug. That's the problem, right? So another thing we can do is we can do like we can do a horn. I know that looks like my pelt, but it's a horn. Trust me, it won't be. Or that's not bad. Yeah. Well, the leather symbol. What's the leather symbol? Uh-oh. I lost chat. Because I clicked on someone's link. Let's go back and see if we can chat back. Alright. Look, when in doubt. Okay, that didn't help me out so much. Yeah. It's hard to get away from stuff like this, isn't it? That's like the obvious choice, so we're just gonna go for it. So, I was thinking that's the bone direction is what I was going with when I was thinking about this horn. But the problem is like the first thing that you're gonna harvest in this category is really just like a leather pelt. Like you're gonna like go murder some deer or something. So. The way it is. Right, and it's so like you just do this and like everyone knows what it is. noise is not like the best. But... Hey. Yeah, thanks. I mean, you know, you do something like that, it's pretty obvious what it is. It's hard. It's really hard to get away from that, so... Coffee table? What? Okay. I'm resigned to my fate. It's not bad. I'm probably overthinking it. Let's go for something better, lighter, leathery shaped. Something like that. Yeah. Okay. Let the cleanup begin. Ah, winner. Winner. Okay, thanks. I'm not happy with this color choice anymore, but that's okay. 'Cause I just need something to get the forms in there, and then we'll tweak the colors. Okay. And he needs to have oversized bare hands, because it's cute. This icon will be extra hilarious if he's cute. Or tragic, extra tragic, I don't know which one. Just trying to get the shape right, and we'll go in and start detailing it. Okay, I don't need these grid lines anymore. They're gonna mess me up. So, away. Save. Okay, I'm really digging this head. I'm not sure if I can reproduce it. But we can try. Kind of that. Poor little tragic. Nope, not gonna be able to do it. Probably. Let's do this. Just use a first cut. Alright. Now that I have both sides in, I can start to correct some of the things that are obviously wrong. Poor bear. It's alright. He died for the greater good. Well, from your point of view. Probably not from his. It's too big. Alright, I don't need you anymore. And I don't want to copy that thing exactly. I want to make sure that what I'm doing is appropriate for Stonehearth. Okay. Now we're going to go for a radical suggestion. Just for another take. Let's flip them that way. Nope. Okay, let's try. Shortening it. So it's like lying flat. The thing that bothers me about this icon in general is that it's so detailed. Like, I really like that ore icon. This is just for fun. Yeah, fly days. For small icons like this, you can't go vector. You can, but they end up looking like here. I'll show you. Look at that. That's a vector icon that I reduced down. You can see, like, well, it's easier to see here. Like, if you compare, like, this row of icons, I don't know if you can even see that on stream, but the resources row to, like, the construction row, the resources row is just sharper. They're sharper, they look better. Because when you get to this size, vector starts to break down. So that's why I'm going pixel by pixel. And I think it's cool that the game have some pixel art in it, given that it's inspired by games that were pixely. Definitely foreshorten this too. Let's pick close the color closer to the one. It's foreshortened. Yeah, he needs like some kind of perspective. That's already better. Because all my other icons are in some kind of perspective. So this thing needs to be in some kind of perspective too. I think that's why it was bugging me so much. Yeah. Okay. Make it better brown. Bear. I'm gonna make it a brown bear. Make it a gray bear. No, you should not. Way too brown. Reddish. Getting there. Now let's. Okay. Let's go. So if he is a Stonehearth bear, his head is square. Find the right dark. That's good. Oh. Well, that's totally backwards. So if my light's coming from this away, this is backwards. Do I care? I don't think I care. I should care. No. I don't care that much. Okay. So that means air pause. Shadow. Head. Shadow. These eyes are not. Just getting way too. It's okay. Let's try to define. That's right. That's good. Aw. That. Huh. What's that gonna do to it? That might work. I was worried about killing my silhouette, but that's better. The more I emphasize this head, the better it is. taxidermy. That's way too much detail. Maybe we'll leave it in. What's next? This one's been a struggle for sure, but it's getting there. I don't think that really helps. Too much detail. Alright, let's give him some claws. He's a bear. He used to be a bear. I guess he's still a bear. Now it's just like... It's definitely just asked, is a human pelt still a human? I think so. Yeah, I think so. Is a steak a cow, or is a cow a steak? Is a steak still a cow? Probably not. Probably not. I think that's the thing. Like, when you look at like the bear, it still looks like a bear, but a steak doesn't look like a cow. There's a lot of subtle stuff going on here, which is not really working. Like it looks all right. This size, it looks all right. It still needs work, but like here, no, it's not working at all. So we'll use my favorite tool in the world. That didn't work at all. You're letting me down. It's distorting the colors way too much. So we're gonna have to pick much brighter brown. Bring it in by degrees. Oops. So I'm picking a low opacity. Oh wow. I think I nailed it right on the bat. Or right off the bat. Yeah. And the contrast really helps. Define this thing. Like it's looking a little bit weird and orangey up here. Down here, that's the one that matters. That's what you're going to be looking at. It's improving. It's not there yet. I said that I wanted these to be crisp. This is one spot where I do soften these edges a little bit to give the impression that he's sort of curved. Not even a whole lot, just a little. Okay. Now let's give it, it's like a little bit of a grayness to them. Really light, but barely see those eyes, which doesn't really bother me, but it's like, what's the point? Okay, one other thing. There we go. Lighter. Whoops. Lighter. More saturated. Lighter. Change the hue. No, wrong way. Darker. Wow. Okay, this is kind of suppose I should have done that. Really, I want more saturation. I want more contrast. That's the problem. Contrast. Alright, we'll just do it again. Yeah. Alright, not bad. I was just saying. Alright. What's Tom doing now? I'm adding this thicker outline. I think I overdid it. Go on back. Let's just do it on the outside first. First cut. It's got issues. Better. See how smooth. Hey. Wanted to be friends. Oh! You know what I forgot? You're gonna laugh. Someone's probably said it. Been like doing it in all caps and I missed it. What did I forget? Wow. Okay, first.
Hey, how are you?
Let's give him blue eyes. Not so much to make them blue, but to give a cool color, which will make them, you can see that they're much more noticeable. Wait, hold on. Oh, we forgot ears. Does that make a big difference? No. But all right. I don't need a reference for bear ears. Thank you, though. Right, I want to pop his head out. Not literally. But his head is just kind of... I feel like the head is what sells it. It's like... Bear's right. So... It's dead, dude. But he came by and said the bear looks sad. Never mind. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to use the not very used, not often used variations tool. I feel like my color palette is off. So this lets me choose like color variation. Yeah, that's the right color, except I wanted the whole thing to be like that, not just his head. Select, try again. Ah! Select. Variations. That's so weird. That did not do what I was doing. I like the current pick. Are you like original current pick? Yeah. What? It's just gonna like I haven't done anything because I'm still at the current pick. So if hit OK, is it gonna change? Why did you change? You're so weird. It's like it's maintaining state between like between invocations and dialogue, which is not the way anything else. And look, oh my God, look! I just bring up the dialogue, don't change anything. It changes. That's so weird. Never seen that before. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. Copy this guy. Do this. Maybe I just fundamentally don't understand the way that dialogue works, but I think it's buggy. That's a little bit too cyan. So we're gonna cut this guy. Paste him. Put him on top. And drop the opacity until I have what I want. Oops. Let's line him up. Now this will let me really tweak exactly what I want the color to be. Something like that. Merge down. Hide. He's a bear. And if you look down here, it's got a unique silhouette. If you look closely enough, you can see it's a bear. It's not the best icon on the sheet, but this was a tough one. I'm willing to declare victory. As I continue to tweak it, right? It's like we're done, and then I keep messing with it. Alright, we're done. Hit save. Go back to our master list of everything. And while I'm ticking this up, well, okay, it's fine. Okay, that means raw resources are done. Can anyone think of a raw resource this is something that you would get directly from the game world, and you have not manipulated it at all, that I'm missing. Why aren't we done? That, or V154, what did I do? Why aren't we done? Grass. Grass would fall under earth and stone, but grass isn't really something. Uncooked meat is animal parts, or it might be meat. Tree leaves, crops. Crops is under food and drink. Fruit and trees. Claws would be animal parts. Gotta fix the nose. I think the nose is okay. I mean, it doesn't really show up in the icon, but that's okay. Like a smaller resolution. Alright, if no one can think of anything, then that's a good sign that oil would probably fall under earth and stone, maybe ore, but oil is pretty specific. Like, how would you generalize that category? Plus, I don't even know if oil is going to be in this game. Sand, earth, and stone. See, I thought about these things, man. I thought for a long time. Alright. I think we're okay. Oh, gray claws on the bear. I'm happy. Water. Water is food and drink. Right, it would come under... Wait, fruits, veggies, breads, meat. Oh. I don't know. I'm missing some stuff here for sure. So I need, like, water. Maybe that's too general, but like... beverages. Should be like beer and wine or whatever else. This may need some work, but I think this one's solid. I think that's solid. Okay, so moving on to construction. Great. Now we get to like rest our brain for a little bit while we just like fix these things. Alright. So this is a vector icon that I just have to clean up. Here's where those grid lines really get in the way because they sort of prevent you from seeing like, the natural sort of stair-steppiness. How did I do this? This one with like that. They overlap by one, so this one should be the same. Which means that it goes like this. This one going much faster. Oh, I'm just gonna go top to bottom. I think I can do it. I don't really like this shade of brown. I'm gonna have to work on that. All these intermediate colors that Photoshop decided to helpfully put in to go. No. That's a step backwards. These don't exactly line up, but I don't care. I think that'll be fine. But I do want higher contrast, so explicitly make that close to black. I lied, I can't go top to bottom. I gotta leave this thing. So we've been thinking, since you guys are talking about attacking monsters and stuff, we've been thinking about combat a little bit more intently recently, and what we've come up with is that combat will be more about strategic planning, setting things up, than it will be about real-time tactical decisions that you make. And the reasoning is very simple. That's what the rest of the game is. Stonehearth is a game of simulation, planning, and then watching your plans executed by your people. And sometimes things go right, and you feel like baller, and sometimes they really don't go right, and then you have to readjust. So when you think combat, think along those lines. Think along, like, I'm going to be able to plan out my defenses and design like my squads, you know, what the composition is, what the priorities are in combat, things like that. But don't think about, I'm going to tell this guy to go attack that thing. Because once you go down that road, you very quickly get to something that is basically an RTS. And we're not building an RTS, it's a simulation game. So just keep that in mind. And once we came to that place, just sort of logically thinking about things, it made it a lot clearer to us how combat would work. And we're a ways away from having combat beyond the prototyping stage. We can put some things on the screen and they can fight each other, but to have a real functioning combat system in the game, we need to be able to do stuff like have you compose guys into these squads and decide this squad is devoted to defense or whatever else. Or focusing on building and crafting for now. So that will come, but it will come later. Okay, these doors need some thickness. Not the doors, the sort of frames. What are these? These bands that are wrapping the door. Oh, the reason why I started talking about combat was because I saw someone, I'm not sure, in chat, think about awesome things, like being able to target specific parts of a monster to have different effects. And I agree that is an awesome idea, but it's way, way, way too specific and low level for the way we think about combat. Think more along the lines of what would make sense in a sim. This is gonna be tricky. I'm not even gonna try. Too specific. So I was trying to carve out exactly the right holes. Oh wait, hold on. This is kind of epic. made free for personal use, so whatever. If you're gonna use it for your own hobby project, throw the guy a bone, because it's like the best font ever. Donate to the author here. And actually, we're gonna have to figure out how to get a commercial license. So I'll put that on my plate. But yeah, it's an awesome font, isn't it? I really like it because it's like quirky. Like the letters are kind of like, you know, they're not all, they're a little helter-skelter, but it's also super readable. And I feel like getting those two things at once at the same time is pretty hard to do. So kudos to the Grobald font author. Okay, yes, this is a lantern. Okay, so now we have to make the inside of this thing look like it's kind of lit up. So I almost never use pure white for anything, but I think this is going to be one time to take it out of the belt. Is that the right metaphor? I was wrong, it's not the right time. So I do want something that's, I think, warmer. No, actually, this is probably fine. So we'll get a light color, but not super light. Okay. Now I'm going to take a semi-transparent brush. So it doesn't make sense for like one side of this lantern to be lit and the other side not lit, because it is light, right? Yeah. So now we're just gonna take like a semi-transparent brush, 30% transparent or 30% opaque. It's like I want like this light to glow. So to do that, just it's like scrubbing over the same area with a different opacity of light until I get a gradient light. Yeah, I'll turn off the lines. It's better. I like that one. And let's do this way on the inside. There. So now I have a nice gradient from all these different places. And I use that gradient now with a fully opaque brush, grabbing each color as I go. And I'm scrubbing. Now I could have like, you know, grabbed the middle piece and like done a Gaussian blur on it and gotten the same kind of an effect, but that, I don't know, I have a lot less control over it. But oh, there's a missile because pixel. That must have really bothered someone because Stephanie came over specifically to point out that missing pixel. Well, I'm glad you care. It's like Comic Sans but better. Crazy. I would ban you from the stream, but I know that you were kidding about that. It's like Comic Sans but better. I'm saying it's like malaria but better. And I want this light to be like, it's kind of exactly centered, and I don't like that. I want it to like pop up a bit. Why? I have no idea. It just feels better that way. Okay. It is okay. Alright. And my lighting totally doesn't make sense. I admit it. It's like the upper half of this lantern should be sort of in shadow, not in shadow, but like this edge of the lantern should be super lit. This edge, because maybe I should do that. Yeah. Okay. Let's just do it. Now come in slightly for semi-transparent brush. Yeah. Fully opaque. I was gonna say, but I'm gonna leave it like inaccurate, just because, so that you can read the form better. But that was crazy talk. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now I want to put a cage around this thing, just because I feel like it needs it. Yeah. Maybe even thicker. Side a little darker. Just give me a sense of perspective. Get rid of the grid lines. Alright, let's not like obsess over this thing. It's pretty good. I just want to add like something on top to like some kind of like an indication of like a carrying loop or handle or something. I think I just blew my my bounds. I totally did. I'm out of bounds now. Right, we can even do... What do you think about a red lantern? We're gonna do that. We're gonna try a variant where this thing is like red. Unfortunately, it's too tall. Wait, it's too tall? No, I'm within budget. Terrific. Let's bring my grid just to be doubly sure. Yeah, it's within bounds. So the grid is off. Like, you've probably noticed this already. The grid should be like that. Alright, and the grid is not going to be in the final. Well, do an A/B test later. Let's make red lantern. Do another A/B test. Because, you know. So, colorize it so that we just manipulate the color here. Red, but not like red, right? Kind of like a brick. Red, like a cardinal. Now, hide the grid lines. Make this one a little bit. Or like, wow. Am I always this bad? Oh, wow, that stinks. Okay. I didn't realize I was like, let's undo that. But guess what? We can paste. I didn't realize that this was so off. It's been off for a while. Oh, I like the idea that there's like a lantern to shine. Why not? I like that so much that I'm trying to find it better. Too bright, easily fixable. Semi-transparent fill. Better. Alright. Now. This. Paste. Overlay. Knock out the parts. Out. Yeah. Maybe. I don't like that. We're gonna do one more better. It's this a lot. Oh, what did I do wrong there? There. Drop it there. Yeah. Alright. 1 in chat if you like the one on the left, 2 in chat if you like the one on the right. I know I moved the one on the right by 1 pixel, E154. I like it better that way. No good. Can't explain myself. Oh my gosh, you guys are killing me. Alright, I like this one. So I'm not getting rid of it. I'm gonna put it off to the side. See what happens. It's unanimous. No one... Unanimous? Whatever. No one likes the one on the right. No one likes the red one. Here. Alright. Here's what we're gonna do. We'll do another one. And we'll saturate it. You think the red's too red? Okay, let's drop the saturation some, like a lot. So it's yeah, now we're talking. Right? Right? Surely that's better. Yeah, Warwick likes it. Warwick, you have excellent taste. Right, but then I want to contrast this up a little bit, like that. Like metally. Right. One of you. So we're here. Right, red. Yep. All right. Perfect. All right. Over here. Winner is middle. I agree with you that it was like all clashy. Oops. That it was clashy before. It was too saturated. Didn't fit. But these can't all be the same color. If they all use the same palette, then you don't have... I mean, color will help you distinguish one thing from another. So, not everything can be gray, yellow, and brown. Oh yeah, so... Okay, so each one of these items doesn't represent like one item. This does not represent lanterns. It represents all the lighting elements that you can make. So torches will be in this category. Lampposts will be in this category. Right. I'm going to take a break while I reheat my coffee, which has gone cold. Grubble. Donate to the author. He's the man. Okay, so decorations and then construction will be done. Boom. I will be back in about 40 seconds. I'm back. So for those of you who are just tuning in, this is more of a working stream. I figured that I had to do a ton of icons today, or a ton of pixel work, I should say, not that many icons. And you might want to watch. So I'm much more focused on just heads down, getting work done, and answering questions. But I will talk through sort of my process, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and stuff like that. Alright, we got one more of these to go in this category. Oh, and what we're doing is I'm making icons for the stockpile configuration screen, which is down here. This is a mock-up, obviously. And the idea is that we have all these categories that every single item in the game will fall into at least one category, usually one. And you'll be able to toggle buttons on and off to configure what goes in a particular stockpile. And as you can see from the pencil, you'll be able to rename your stockpiles too. And ironically, the art for this feature is like probably about 80% of the work, where usually it's the other way around. See, did you see that? You saw that, right? That's the thing. That's the thing that oh, wait. Okay. So, Control Space will let you zoom. Okay. So I bet Alt Space. No, Alt Space doesn't do anything. Okay. Oh, and you can zoom. Wait, can you zoom? Yes, you can zoom onto any part by mousing over and doing the... Yeah, okay. See, I can zoom in here, I can zoom out, I can zoom in here. It's control... Oh, okay. I almost have it. Control Space. Space is pan. Control is... I don't know. Well, control space is the bad. Okay. That makes me feel a lot better. I was telling you guys earlier, so why was that such a big deal? Because it kept happening to me, like not just like the stream, but like throughout my life. I would hit that key and not know what I was hitting, and it was just frustrating. But now I know what I'm doing, so yay. I didn't even know which key I hit to make it happen. That was the killer. And it was something that I wanted. I'm like, I would love to be able to do that on demand. Okay, so this next thing is, this next category is decorations. Decorations are things like rugs, banners that hang on the wall, stuff like that. Alt Space. Oh yeah, right. Alt Space is nothing in Photoshop. It's like, you don't know what you're doing. I'm not gonna tell you. So I think the easiest thing for this is just to like make a banner, right? Let's not overthink this at all. It's just a banner. Oops. That's too small, but that's okay. It's very easy to resize this stuff. Grid looks weird, but the selected ones look weird without it. You've hit the nail on the head. The grid is not the best. So first, let me show you what this thing would look like. So there's this one. Okay, that's the icons. We can take a break. Just an aside. The grid below the active buttons. Move the active buttons to... Actually, let's just move the grid since that's not grid. Why you no move? That mark. Grid. Just by eye. Would line up exactly like that, right? So this looks. Oh, it's not exactly right. It's a little bit off, but whatever, you get the idea. So look at this one. We're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place on this, and I'm really happy with this. So it's kind of like the last 2%. So I'm gonna complain a lot, but I'm really not that sad about it. So, like, this is awesome and super clear. It's really obvious that everything is a toggle button, and that you hit the buttons to toggle things on and off. Fantastic. The only problem is this grid is really heavyweight. Kind of breaks the feel of, like, it's on parchment. Because what are all these buttons doing on parchment? So that stinks. If you get rid of the grid, it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot easier to read, but you don't get, like, the toggle buttons seem weird and out of place. Like, why are parts of the parchment pushed in? And you can probably figure it out, you guys are smart, but it's just a little off. So another thing that we thought of doing, which isn't great either, is using the idea that, like, you're sort of circling bubbles on a piece of parchment. And of course there are no circles in Stonehearth, so they're squares. Which is okay. It's not as readable. It's okay. And it keeps the metaphor consistent. So, we'll play around with the options, but no matter what option we pick, we're going to have icons. So I'm focused on the icons right now. Thanks to whoever pointed that out. Alright, where are we at? Okay, control space. See, I can't control my new powers yet. Control it. Alright. This was just going to be a banner. And I don't know if I want it to be in perspective like this. It's going to look weird. Let's give it a shot. It's not too hard. Maybe it would be something like that. Yeah, it's too flat. Let's just do a straight up banner. Which is very, very, very straightforward. Something like that. Pick a nice dark blue. Pick another blue. It's not a bad one. Do this. Hide the grid lines. The grid lines come back, because that's what they do. Hide them again. Make it wider, thinner. So again, the idea behind this category are decorations that you will use, well, just around your buildings, like banners that would sit around on the outside, or rugs, stuff like that. Oh no, hey, it worked. How did that work? That should not have worked. How on earth did that work? Worked again. I don't know. Oh, I understand. I had a slate. Alright, now we can make this multicolored. I don't want to do that. I feel like it's going to be distracting. So we'll just go for monochromatic. Yeah. That. Now, we'll take new layer and cheat. Cheat, quote unquote. Grab a marquee. Make sure it is not any alias. We want those alias lines. That. Grab. See, this is the part of the banner that would be sort of more lit. Fill that. Get rid of that. Set it to screen. Drop the opacity way down. Okay, so this is in light, so then there'd be something in shadow underneath it. We'll push that down, make another new layer, get some blackness. So then, something like this. Here, let's just sketch it there. I want it to sort of come up and make that fold. Oh, that's not bad. It just needs to be a little bit bigger. There. Flip it. Change the opacity. Just playing around. Yeah. Bit less opaque. Push it down. Hide. Our outlines are a little bit too... Black is too dark. Actually, no. Black is fine. Nah, that's not great. We'll make it... Nope. There. Okay. Now what? I want a bottom edge to this banner. Some color... Go with gold. I don't feel like that's the right answer. But we'll just make it, and then it'll be easy to change the color, obviously. Is that the right answer? It's not bad. It's not bad. Alright, let's not just... It's just a banner. Alright. It's a banner, it needs to be on something. I'm gonna make it a hanging banner. But, let's give that some thickness to it. Yep. that do it? It's really subtle. That's okay. I know it's there. And I feel better because it's there. Boom. Now, make the hangy bits. Should the hangy bits be this gold color? Let's do that, see how it looks. Hello, hangy bits. Borrow liberally. Yeah, that'll work. Just fine. Alright. Now we need a gap. Less good about this. It's gonna work. I believe. I do. Wrong answer. Oh, that's why it looks messed up. This is a round sort of round quote unquote bar. This one. Then you're gonna see a highlight on here as it curves around the post. So curves close, right? Because there are no curves. But actually, let's stick to that. There are no curves, so you're gonna have like an upper face here, and then when it turns the corner, it would be like that. And let's increase the contrast a little bit so you can tell. I'm just gonna pick the color. Better. Let's get rid of those group lines there. Okay, there we go. That's our banner. And I'm liking the direction so far. We are varying our icons in silhouette, somewhat in color, so they are easy to distinguish. The first row I think is great. Second row, this door and the chair are probably too close to each other. It's pretty easy to tell this is a fence. These are like, I don't know, gotta do something to, maybe they'll put like a cushion on the chair or something to give it like a little color pop. Are you guys arguing about the color of the, oh, where did I learn how to art? I have taken exactly 2 art classes in my life. So I learned to art by doing lots of art. And I think, I mean, yeah, so do lots of art. It's like number one way to get better at art. It's kind of like hard to take because to produce good art, you have to produce a mountain of bad art. And it's like that for everyone. And you can go like all over the internet and people will tell you this. But I don't know, for me at least, and I know for a lot of other people, it's hard to personally accept that. Like, you think, why is my stuff so bad? Well, you just need more practice. Yeah. So if you want to do art, my number one piece of advice is do art. Don't worry that your stuff is bad. Accept that it's going to be bad. I mean, so there's this great quote by Stephanie, who's the NPR guy. Thank you, Chris. Yes, Chris knows exactly what I'm talking about. it's true of everything, but I feel like it's very hard. Um, uh, and you should find this quote by him, Ira Glass, NPR, on YouTube. Right on YouTube. Let me just sound for a little bit, just because so Ira Glass says that and he describes his own career as a radio broadcaster. If you are trying to do something new and you really, really want to do it, don't despair because your stuff is bad, or you think your stuff is bad. The reason why you think your stuff is bad is because you have good taste and you can tell the good stuff from the bad stuff. And so because you have that level of taste, you will be able to track your own progress as you improve, and you will improve if you just keep at it. Which is, Chris just said, it's true for everything, which I think is true. But for some reason, I find that artists, myself included, are very, very good at knocking themselves, because it's very easy to see that oh, this thing I did is not as good as this thing that this other artist has done, and I'll never be as good as that person. Artists are really good at playing that trick in their head, and you have to constantly fight against that. Like I was showing the stream earlier, and maybe I still have it. That's obsolete. I don't need that anymore. Tony's not doing the cross product. I'm not sure what that means. But so this is the same version of this UI, from 6 months ago, and it's really bad in comparison. But at the time I did this, I knew it was only okay, but I didn't know why. Now I can tell you exactly why this is bad. And I did a half hour ago in stream, and you can watch it if you want to. But just keep doing art. If you want to do art, keep doing it. If you want to do character art, which I don't do a lot of, then it is very helpful to get a basic understanding of anatomy. Even if you're doing super cartoony stuff. So that's the one thing where, yeah, you're going to have to study, and it helps to take a class. But you can study the stuff on your own if you get some good books. Other than that, do the art. You'll get better. And it's going to take a long time. But just keep doing it. Where's my music? What did I do? Play. Oh man, I broke iTunes. Oh, it's back. Thanks, iTunes. I never should have done. Fire Glass, look it up. Yeah, Steve. It's a work stream, so as long as I'm working, I'm gonna be streaming. Well, until we go to lunch. Eminently. That didn't work at all. What did I screw up? Okay, so let's review. What are we doing? So we've moved on. We finished 2 categories, which is pretty good progress for a morning, I think. We moved on to the tools and goods category, which is going to be made up mostly of goods, right? So there's this kind of a dynamic that plays out in the game where you start with raw materials, let's say wool as an example from the sheeps, and you go from raw materials to a refined good like wool to thread, and that's what's being captured here. What's being captured? Excellent use of the passive voice. So you can have a stockpile for just your raw materials if you want. And then you could have another stockpile for the refined goods from those raw materials. So stockpile for the wool, and then another stockpile for the thread and the cloth that comes from the wool. That's what's going on. How many pixels is that for? Wow. The grid actually helped me for once. Or you could have a stockpile just for the wool, which would be an animal part, and the thread, which would be, you know, the thread and cloth bucket, and have that stockpile right next to your weaver. So the weaver has a really short loop between getting the materials she needs to craft and the location where she'll dump her crafted goods for use by other denizens of your establishment. That's the whole reason why you would configure stockpiles. It's really just a way of optimizing your town. So you can choose what you want to store where. Pretty simple concept. And we had to like balance between doing something like super flexible, like you can specify down to the exact type of item, to something that's, you know, easy to use, and more importantly, like not easy and quick to use. So we're doing a balance. So you're not going to be able to specify, you know, only wool goes in this stockpile. Do not put like silk in the stockpile. Sorry, you can't do it. But that's okay. Well, at least that's the theory. Instead, we're giving you something that's like kind of powerful enough, we think, and easy to use. What's the best MMO you've played? Ellogeyen Europe. Ellogeyen Europe. Wow. Oh, WoW. Yeah, okay, fine. WoW's good. I played WoW for a long time, longer than I should have. You know what? I was never able to duplicate the feeling that you got from classic WoW. Like, you know, stepping into Molten Core for the first time and stuff like that. Where so much was like, I mean, it's not just that stuff was unknown, but like, it was like, even like going into like 5-mans and stuff, like effort. And at the time, it was like, man, it's such a pain to like get my group together, and like I need a warlock to help me summon these people just so we can do this 5-man. I just want to get the loot, but I don't know. I don't know if this is just rose-colored glasses, but seeing like, I know I'm not alone in this opinion. Seeing like how things are now, I feel like the work was like really what made everything so fun and rewarding. Is that, yeah, it was hard to get stuff. So when you got it, you felt like, you know, you felt like you've done something. So you were motivated to like go get more stuff. But now it's like so. I almost feel like it's like an entirely different game than Classic. Wow. By Classic, I mean before all the expansions, and certainly before things like the Raid Fighter. Like, I can think of all the things that Blizzard has added to that game that they swore they would never add. Like, no, you should not be able to be able to like fly around instantly all over the world. They wanted the world to feel big and have like, you know, size to it. But now you can teleport practically anywhere you want if you're not a mage. I kind of wonder what would happen if Blizzard like stuck to their guns on all that stuff and just said nope. And I know that like they were trying to like just do what the players wanted and what they thought would make a better game. A lot of the things that I'm like saying, oh, that was awesome, are things that I complained about when I was actually doing it. But sometimes, careful what you wish for. I don't know. I wonder what happened if they stuck to their guns. Left the game sort of as it was, moved along other areas. Maybe everyone would abandon them. I mean, they're the ones who are making like more money than they can spend, so clearly the experts. It's hard to tell them what to do. That was way too long of a dissertation on WoW, but I've played WoW for a long time and had to get that off my chest. I know I'm not unique in these feelings. Like, how do you beat stepping into, like, Molten Core for the first time? It's hard to beat. It's really fun. Okay, why is this imbalanced? What did I do wrong? That's 2, that's 3. I think this is the correct side. Where does this go off the tracks? So these line up. Yeah, okay. So that side's right, this side's wrong. Hey, we've got another one done. Does that look like a spool of thread to you? It looks like a spool of thread to me. In a world where there are no circles. Up. There. Alright. We're making pretty good progress. Look at this. Alright, I'm gonna nuke this. I don't even know what would go there. I have room for another category, but I can do one. Okay. Construction done. If someone wants to be helpful, take this, I should do this, but I'm being lazy and I admit it. Take this taxonomy, put it on the discourse, you guys can talk about it, see if you can think of like new categories that I'm missing, or items that would not fit any category. And remember, these are loose, okay? These are loose categories. And the purpose is for you to organize what goes where at a reasonable level. So like leather and horns and bone and wool all go in animal parts. So, and like, yeah, you get the idea. I mean, look at the weapons and armor categories. It's like melee weapons, ranged weapons, light armor, heavy armor, magic, and exotics, right? So that covers pretty much everything. Now, would you like to put your bows in a different stockpile than your crossbows? Sorry, can't do it. At least that's the proposal, because we want to balance between power and speed / ease of use. Now there may be like a trap door that we let you open, where you can configure at a very, very fine grain what's in the stockpile. That would come like later, and it's something we could add an advanced option. Don't think of that as like usual, because most of the time you'll be like, wood, fine, no problem, this is a wood stockpile. And then maybe for a very specific stockpile, you'll, leather. Oh, see, this is crafting goods. Okay. Right. So most stockpiles you'll be fine saying this is a wood stockpile, this is an ore stockpile, whatever. And then on a specific one, maybe you do want to say this is only for my blah. And I have ideas for how we could provide you both options, but right now we're only talking about the simple path. Alright, so I want this leather. So this is, this next icon is for specifically like refined animal parts. You take a corpse and turn it into leather or something. So I want it to like relate to the bear icon, but not be the same. But like use like a similar silhouette. So get that link in your head between, oh, this is a refined version of the one from the resource category. So easy to do. First we take off his head. No. Yes. Sorry, bear guy. I'm only going to do one side and then I'll flip it. Oh, okay. Let's see what we got. Ideas for the grid. Thought about that. I think if you find... Let's see if I can pull this off. Nope, can't do it. Alright. When you have grids like this, where there's like space between the grids, when the grid gets big, this space between the rows and the columns forms like a lattice, which makes things less readable. And Edward Tufte, who's this pretty smart guy who wrote a lot of books like this one, talks about like the visual side of information and why doing things like this can cause things to be less readable. Because your mind starts to see like this is actually forming an optical illusion where like you can see like a little dark circle here and a little dark circle here, very faintly. And the more prominent you made the grid, the more prominently you see those circles, and your brain just sort of starts freaking out. You stop concentrating on the information. Nice try. This grid thing is like, it's kind of a weird problem because on the one hand, like, it doesn't really matter too much. Like, grid or no grid, not a problem. It's going to be pretty usable either way. So it's kind of like we're obsessing over like I said, like the last 2% of the design. But there doesn't seem to be a right answer or a good answer. Like everything that we've tried has some kind of downside. So I've stopped obsessing over it. I'm like, well, okay, it's going to be whatever it's going to be. And it's going to be okay. There are much more important things to worry about when it comes to the game. Like how farming works, which we're thinking about now. Specifically. Like one interesting question that we had with farming. So this thing needs to be like flatter, much flatter than the air. It's like leather. Farming, think about it. Suppose you have 5 farmers. Do those 5 farmers work as a team, or do they each manage their own individual farm? And you can think of reasons why you'd want it to be either way. But we're thinking about questions like that. As we're about to implement farming. Not about to, but it's high on the list. It will happen sooner rather than later. Alright, so I'm just trying to flatten out my bear pelt. It's not a bear pelt, it's a leather skin. Yeah. Or really needs to be that. Flat. Just keep flattening it.
Why don't we have separate categories for weapons and armor?
When he asked about weapons and armor categories, so there they are. Melee, range, light, heavy. Should probably just call this like products. Alright, continue to flatten. Or a flattening exercise. Flat. That's pretty flat. Now let's do the same. Yeah. Alright, that looks pretty good on that side. Except that we need some kind of an indication. There used to be a head here. That's pretty grisly, isn't it? Ah! I made a pun. Made a pun. Okay, and let's not. That's okay. It's not bad. Alright. Okay, so that looks peltish. Looks pretty good. Now I want to do something on the top surface here to imply that like the surface has been kind of worked. And this sort of texture now is like a fur texture. But now this is like a leather thingy, right? So something, maybe even literally like a crosshatch. Stop being lazy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yeah. And now let's make it a little lighter, so it pops out a little bit more. Whoa! No, no. There. Sweet. Now I want the whole thing. I was gonna say I was gonna change like the hue of it. Whoops, go back. But I kind of like it. Come on. I like that. Good. I was stressing over that. I thought that was gonna be harder than it was. Okay. Keep the grid. Wow, you guys are obsessing over this grid. I mean, it's fun, right? It's fun to think about. What? Wow, where'd you get that? Oh, let's see. Keep the current grid, but make it into a border bevel. Well, it is a border bevel, right? It's just a big one, right? See, same thing. I mean, you could say that the bevel should be less. It should be a smaller bevel, and I would say maybe. But if you look at like everywhere in the UI, and this is not just this screen, but every single screen, like there are no single pixel borders. All of our borders are at least 3 pixels, and sometimes even bigger than that. And that's how we get kind of this vectory, graphic-y look. Graphic look, I should say, which is kind of one of the signatures. Like you can see even down here, like I redid the unit frame, right? And this uses the old font, but it's just a mock-up. Like, right. So everything is crisp and thick. Okay, that was cool. Oh, this is the part of the movie where like lots of people die. It's very dramatic. What was I talking about? I was talking about combat, but I think you guys get the idea. It's a sim game. Combat will be simmy. not. If you need reflexes, or you need like to think on your feet real time, it's probably not in the game. Real time being the emphasis. You'll definitely need to think and plan quite a bit in the game, but not in a real time fashion. Okay, so wait. I've missed a step. So we got our doors and windows icon done. So that's great. And we're moving on to fences and defenses. Wow. Can you guys hear anything? Because it's like super faint in my headphones. Maybe I should up the volume of my headphones. Maybe that's the problem. Ah, yeah. Alright. You guys like my wordplay? Fences and defenses. Alright, this is tricky, because these, like, end pieces of the fence are, like, small. I gotta try to find a way to express them. Very small pixels. Hey, that's what you sign up for pixel art. I kinda like that. Boom. Done. Clean. Okay. I'm gonna duplicate most just one side of it. Get this side in place. This side should go. Where should it go? Right there. Right there. That do it. That's the right one. Now I have to clean up this. Oh no, where'd I go? There's a mystery hotkey to like really move you around the canvas. I wish I knew what I was pushing when I push it, because there's some times where I want to like go back to the center of the canvas. Now is not one of those times. Now I can sort of walk my way back. See? Look. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, did you see that? Like... No, I don't know what I pushed. And it was awesome, because it took me back to like a full preview of the whole document, and then there was like that little sort of targeting reticle that let me like zoom around to somewhere else. And I have no idea what I pushed. I had no idea what I pushed. And like right after I pushed it, I tried to do it again, and it didn't work. So, oh, save. And I care like just enough to want to be able to do it, but not enough to like go like Google all the hotkeys in Photoshop and like find it. Oh no, what have I done wrong here? okay, that's fine. Because like that, and that. No, that's not right at all. Alright, let's just like... There. That's what I want. It's not real pixel art. Copy and paste pixels. This is going to be a bit of a chore. Let's find out where I want the pixels to go first, and then chop off the extra ones. Okay, now let's grab this line, let's bring it on down. And for those joining us fairly recently, I have to make a bunch of icons today, so I figured why not stream it. What we're doing is filling out this matrix of I guess this is a taxonomy of everything. So every item that you can collect in the game will fit somewhere in this taxonomy of stuff, either a resource, a construction piece. I have room for more category if I need one. Crafted good, weapons, armor, food, drink, or wealth. And in a stockpile, you'll get this configuration UI. This is not complete, I'm still working on it. Where you'll get to choose what is stored in that stockpile. And you'll just click things on and off. So, to that end, I'm making a ton of icons. And I figured as long as I was going to be here, I should it. Most of the other art that I do for the game is vector-based, because it is displayed in sort of large format. This stuff is not vector-based because it is so small. You can see like there, like this wonderful crisp door and fence to this chair. It's all like kind of blurry. I just like crisp look better for small icons, especially since the game, as I mentioned before, is inspired by games drawn entirely in pixels. It's nice to have some hardcore pixel art in the game. So that's what we're doing. And because I'm sort of focused on getting work done, and it's kind of a bonus stream anyway, I'm not going to be answering questions, as you probably noticed by now. Whoops. Move the window. Let's put it back. Hey, guess what? Knocked off another one. Fences and defenses. Other defenses. Here you go. Alright, onward. More pixel cleanup. Turn our brain off and just... What did I do here? Here and here I have this 3 pixel wide. Here I have a 2 pixel wide thing. Neither one's better or worse than the other one, so we'll just leave it like that. Go away, pencil. I don't need you anymore. Wow, that's a horrible life policy, isn't it? Let my past decisions guide my future ones. Don't change. Never change. I guess if your life is going well, that's not a bad policy. I think I've thought too much about that already. Oh no. Wait a minute. There. Huh? What's wrong with this? 1 2 1 2 3 2 2 2 1 2. Alright. Work, prepare people. Work at one council at a time. You know what I was thinking about? Like mice? They're mice, the mouse that I'm holding in my hand. Are pretty tough little buggers. Like, how many times do you click a mouse button? It's a lot. It's like, you know, like I was sort of upset that my mouse that I've been using for the past like 2 years or something broke. It seems like 2 years. A mouse should last longer than 2 years. But then I was thinking, like, I probably clicked that mouse button like how many hundreds of thousands of times before it broke. So bad. How do you engineer something that's designed to be used that much? I guess like automobile parts are kind of the same way. Where you have an engine that's designed to be run for hundreds of thousands of miles with, you know, maintenance and stuff. But how do you test that? How do you test something that's supposed to run for 10 years, not break? Alright, the top edge of this chair is not happening. It needs to curve down a little more. Like that. See how wide. Alright. It's not bad. I feel like I've gone a little bit too much by using the arched chair. Arched back chair, I should have just used one. That's a little bit more interesting. Everything else gives it a little bit of difference for what it's okay. Run, save. Furniture. Oh. Alright, hold on. We gotta come up with something else. We could put that on repeat, but let's see. Oh wait. No, I still have 3 more tracks. Let's go. Okay. Alright, so how are we doing? Lights. Oh, that's another new one. Okay, that's okay. We can liberally borrow from what is good before. So I like the palette of... Okay, let's get the grid back. And I like the palette of my ore thing, lights, kind of. And I like the silhouette of my rock thing. So I'm gonna make a lantern. It's gonna be a lantern. Simple. Do that. Obsolete. Grid. Okay. And let's figure this thing out. Okay, so it can't be any taller than this. So that's an upper bound. And I got 2 more pixels to work with there. So that's my lower bound. Trying to get the silhouette right as usual. Oh. Yeah, I'll keep my lower bounds. How far I can go and still stay within the bounds of the icon. Now this is way too big, so how do we fix that? Like this. Is this clever or what? Do that. Okay. Now let's you know, the idea of like me streaming like what I'm working on would be like so out of bounds at my last job. It would have been like laughable, like fireable offense. It's just funny how things change. I mean, with good reason. So there I was working on like software that people use to run kind of computers that their business depends on. So probably don't want. I mean, first of all, it's a lot more boring to watch. I'm not sure who would watch it. Just when you'd watch it, potentially get some inside info on how to compromise your system. Not that I was working on the most sensitive stuff, but it definitely would have been probably a fireable offense to stream when I was working on it. Alright, I'm borrowing colors. I sure am. I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing, the fact that I'm borrowing these colors. Because you could say, oh, it has a nice consistent palette, or you could say, oh, it's all samey, and boring. We're going to find out one way or the other. Alright. Hit the lantern, kind of. This is so tedious. It's not even right. My problem is that this whole thing needs to come down a little bit. Like, it doesn't look like it's... Like, look at the small version. The actual size version. And it doesn't look like this bottom piece is, like, wider in, like, a rim around the... That helps some. But this thing probably needs to be one thinner. Just exaggerate the proportions a little bit. I'll bring this so that you can see it erupt. Right? I think I got it right. So it should be 1, 2, and then... yeah, I did not. Is that enough? Yeah, that's enough. That's a lot. Alright. Now, so that it actually looks like a lantern. Top needs to be kind of... that. So let's go. We just did this. Oh wait, not zeroing in. Now it's gonna come up to about there. So we're gonna have to leave it for before we go like 1 up, 2 up. Perfect. Whew. We did it. And now each one of these, so like getting, well, whatever, you guys can see. I'm gonna make sure that like the width of each one of these is 2. It's a lot easier to do that way than the like counting thing I did, but I have one line to guide. And looking down low, it looks good. Is that even? Yeah, that's good. Oh my god. I gotta tell you about this font. You're gonna have to hear the story first, and then I'll tell you the font. I found this font on a pretty cool little iOS game. The font in this window. Called Pocket Titans, I think. Let's make sure I got that right. Give them a shout out since I'm stealing their font. It's not their font, but that's where I discovered the font. Oh, yeah, this guy. Right, so these guys, this game uses this font. And it's a neat little iOS puzzle game. It's fun. They have kind of a quirky art style. I was like, that's the best font ever, where can I find it? And I could not find the thing. It took me like a long time to find this font. Eventually I had to like take a screenshot of the game and like capture the font, use like these sites where you put in the image, and it'll tell you what it thinks the font is. But the image was too resolution and too low res, and it was giving me back Helvetica, so I had to upscale the image and do some like image manipulation tricks to sharpen the edges so that you had better silhouettes. Then finally, like an hour, it's in Lantern, dude. Finally, after an hour, wow, now I can't even remember what the font is. Hold on. Assets. Nope, wrong one. C. Oh, is my music too loud? That was a really cool story too. Stonehearth. Hold on. Oh, I bet I moved my music frame too, didn't I? Ah, this is depressing. Hold on. Let me get this right. Okay, so I can just move the window, and that will be what I do because I am lazy. Now you can see that I like Keith Urban. Yeah, I do. I'm not ashamed of it. Okay, now this is too wide. Do that. Okay. This kind of spoils what I'm listening to. I was hoping someone could figure it out. Alright. Volume. Too low. The stream is going to be probably for at least the next half hour until we go to lunch. Is this better? It's audio level. Can you hear me? Ready? One in chat. Hear me? I admit I'm an audio scrub. Getting the levels right. Okay, great. So anyway, it took me a long time to find this font, and I'm gonna try to save you some trouble. Now you know where all our files are in the source. It's okay. What are you gonna do with that information? CSS fonts. It is called Grobold. Font is Grobold. And if you like it, and I like it, if you like it, go to font.com, and here it is. Right, it's in beefy, and it's designed to fit with the design of our characters who are big, thick, and beefy. So that we get like kind of a unified look to what's going on the screen and the overlay, the UI overlay. So yeah, we'll never ever have like a hairline like that in the UI. Even the outlines of these small icons are more than 1 pixel. And it was actually pretty important for me to find what those rules were, like what are the rules by which we're going to define the aesthetic of the UI, and then stick to them 100% even when I wanted to make an exception. Because I feel like that's how you get like a strong, by knowing exactly what defines your look, and then not compromising, even when it's not convenient. You have to work harder to make it work. Okay. Metal bars. That's gonna be easy. Start with. I like these colors. Just grab this. Let's start with that. Up. It's not big enough. Something's really nasty about this. Yeah, this line is really bad. Okay. Borrow a shield. Alright. So the idea for this is like, once again, sticking with the raw resource that has been refined theme. Obviously you take more, you refine the bars. No shock there. This is for storing the results of said labor. It is almost time for me to go. So I'm going to take a break, have lunch, and we will be back maybe this afternoon. Depends on how lunch goes. Like, I don't know. What do you think? Talking to myself. Like, I don't know. An hour, 2 hours. What is this? I don't even recognize this song. Alright, that's gonna have to be the sign-off music, because why not? Okay, so, thanks for watching. How many people do we have? 99. Ah, so close. And I might be back later. Either way, have a good day.